Here we go. Hi, I'm Michael Peter Lansford. I have the great honor today of interviewing an amazing woman. I've known her for a while now. She's good. There's a lot of spiritual teachers and counselors out there, but Lumari cuts right through it. She's not afraid to make fun with it, play with it, and yet she gets to truths. Reading her books, actually, just saying that, I get a tingle up my spine. Reading her books, she really gets to some deep truths. Lumari is a visionary energy master, an intuitive guide. She's a spiritual teacher, a transformative healer, an author. She's a guide, catalyst, and inspiration for personal, professional, and planetary change. Not everybody can do that. Healing, evolution, and awakening into the soul purpose you are ready to step into in your highest, most purposeful, prosperous, and successful future. She works internationally with clients from all over the world because once they've touched her books, they know there's something there they need. Lumari's profound intuitive gifts, energy mastery, healing, and depth of spiritual wisdom have guided many through difficult times in their life. Her website is lumari.com, and I advise all of you who see this and feel something, as Lumari has me and my wife Sophia feel, that you go there and check out closely what she offers. Her books are available, of course, on Amazon.com. We're going to talk about a lot of her books, which each one is uniquely different and wonderful. Lumari, it's a joy to be interviewing you today.
Oh, Michael, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you. What a pleasure and a blessing.
I came to you first in the most unlikely way through shopping for a man. I was like, wow, I don't know if I can get behind a spiritual book called Shopping for a Man. And I loved it. My sister loved it. My daughter loved it. It's a great book. How does a spiritual teacher come to write a book called Shopping for a Man?
Well, the real backstory is before I met my husband, Peter, I dated this man who seemed to be the perfect complement to my life. So we were both in the art world together. We both were connected to groups and nonprofits and everything, same circles, blah, blah, blah. And he was absolutely not for me. And so in my sadness, I meditated, which I've been doing all my life. And the words came to, and I'm like, I'm done with men. It's okay.
I've been there.
I'm an independent woman anyway. And then I heard in the message from the divine, and she said, dating is shopping. And I'm like, what? And then I heard it again, dating is shopping. And I went, oh, I totally know how to shop. And once I got that message, I recognized that all of the things that I normally do when I'm shopping for something, if I apply it to dating, then it really is a pathway to success. Because when you're shopping, the first thing you have to know is yourself. You have to know your size. You have to know what styles you like. You have to know where you want to shop, what you want to do, where you're going. It doesn't matter. A lot of the analogies in the book are about clothes, but it can be anything. It's like you just don't go looking for something that doesn't suit you when you're shopping.
And yet, what I got out of the book is a lot of women don't get that basic step. They're looking for Prince Charming or what their mother said they should look for.
Or even thinking that the spiritual connection is the only thing. And it's not the only thing, but the book is, so I have fun with it. Michael, I have a sense of humor about it.
Oh, you have a great sense. I know, I find myself laughing out loud. I don't do that with too many books.
And I wanted women to actually laugh at the process, because most women who are dating are not having fun. It's like all of the different things, whether they're trying to please someone or they don't know what they want anymore, or they've been through relationships and they weren't the best ones. And this is completely different because it is a spiritual book. It's about breaking apart your illusions, how to tune into the qualities of life that you admire and therefore would admire in somebody else, and to open yourself to that, but also open yourself to the playfulness of it. If you
And the other side of that that I really liked is you urge, this is my term, but this brutal honesty about not having delusions about, oh, this will work, oh, I can kind of make this work.
Yes. Yes. And it's really important like that.
You do this in your, well, in everything you do, and we'll talk about some of your other books, but you do this in your counseling and your classes and your advising. How did you come to this place that you're able to cut through the bullshit, so to speak?
I think I've always been like that. I am lucky that I came from a family who didn't mess around either. I mean, they said everything with love, but they said it.
Mm.
I had,
Which is rare.
yes, I know. I have memories of like being really little and watching my aunts and great aunts get together and talk about stuff. And they would say, no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. You need to know that's wrong. We love you very much, but it's wrong. And then you like,
Well, yeah, no, that's a skill to learn that a lot of people never do.
yeah, and they told me, and everybody in the family in different conversations that I had with them said, you don't have to agree with them, just love them, but they can be wrong. But you can love them anyway, and you can tell them they're wrong, but you love them.
Which is why I think your counseling and your classes do so much for people.
I really thank you, because I really hold the space of that love and a person's greater self, whatever that is, because we're always growing and changing.
Gotta be.
Always raising our vibration or shifting focus, or what you thought you were going to do isn't there anymore and you're doing something else, or you don't know yet.
Too many times.
Exactly. But to hold that space, that's a very powerful thing. We want everybody, I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if everybody in your life held that space? I love you. You're going to do things right. You're going to do things wrong, but I'm honest enough to tell you, whether it is very, very simple things or whether it is the profound thing of the path of your life.
Now, you do one-on-ones on phone and Zoom and Skype?
Yes, I do.
And you do classes and online seminars?
Yes. And the way, there's so many different ways now to reach people. It's really just gorgeous. And so I have clients all over the world.
Right.
And I have some, and it's fun because I have a couple of clients in Japan that don't speak English.
Wow.
And so we have a translator.
Right.
And so the translator is, each one has a different translator, but the translator that I work with recently is a woman, and she's getting the benefit of my counseling and coaching and energy work with my client, because she's listening to what I'm saying and then telling it to him so he can understand it. And then his questions come through her and she asks me. So she's like a vibration, she's an intellectual, but a vibrational conduit at the same time.
Wonderful. Tell us about some of the classes you offer.
So one of the classes I offer is working with the frequencies of ayahuasca, which is the language I channel. It is the vibrational source and consciousness of creation.
I'm going to interrupt you because when I picked up that book, I felt differently, but similar to I did Shopping for a Man. I was like, okay, this is a pretty grandiose statement, the original language. And then I started reading it and I went, hell, this is powerful stuff. This is really good. I mean, I am a fan. It's quite obvious from the interview, but it really is. It's really, what you brought through was clean.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, because for me, I've always been able to communicate with the guides, the divine ones, however you want to typify those beings who are wise beyond our own wisdom. And one of my meditations, I asked specifically, what is creation and how do we participate in it? It was a more poetic question than that, but that was basically my question. And this energy and consciousness came and introduced herself. And she said, I am ayahuasca. I am the calling forth of creation. I'm like, oh, okay, because I have a a curiosity that allows me to ask powerful questions. I ask them of my clients, and I ask them of the divine. And so I started asking questions. Well, what does that mean? And then and while I'm asking the questions, I'm also following the frequencies all the way beyond to what I call, people call the Big Bang, I call the Big Laugh.
I like it better.
It's like the divine, who I call the goddess, decided, oh, what would it be like? And this burst of joy came forward. And to not be separate from the totality, she created ayahuasca as a calling forth of everything else that was to be, which when you think about it is brilliant.
It is. How do you do this in a class?
I have music, sacred music that I've recorded. It's my CD or album is Emerge Dancing, and it is a soul journey with the language. So ayahuasca is energy, frequencies, consciousness, words that activate sacred, I call it active sacred geometry, which means it's not just a pretty picture, it actually activates you. And those energies keep on building, they reach you because it's pure creation. It connects with you at your pure soul level. And each time you connect, you grow. And so the energies grow with you and it sees you. It's almost like, every morning you wake up and you have a spiritual makeover.
That's great. I love it.
Oh, I love you. Here you are. Oh, there you are. And you get on building on that. And so
now, what are some of the other classes you offer?
So, and I have done workshops on the Akashic Records.
Which is another book that we want to talk about.
Yes. And I also do work on inspiration and living inspired. And I do individual coaching as well. So in some of my groups coaching, I've done a workshop called Heal Your Money Karma. And it's working with the frequencies of ayahuasca, but helping you break free of patterns, beliefs, and then karmic relationships that are separating you from your financial freedom, whatever that looks like to you.
Which is one of the big challenges most of us have on and off or all the time in the material world.
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing. And it's funny because while we understand some things, like you can sit there and that the thing that you say, right? Like everybody knows money doesn't grow on trees when actually it does. But we know that phrase. Everybody, at least who speaks English, knows that phrase.
Right.
And but some people actually believe that, which carries through to all of these different conversations that sets them separately. There's conversations about deserving. I just did a big healing with one of my clients who really didn't think, her thing was she wasn't doing enough. So underneath everything, there was a whole conversation about not doing enough. Well, you can never do enough, because enough is a word that you don't even want to bother with. Unless you've said, I've had enough, then okay.
Right.
But once we broke that apart, all of a sudden energy started flowing through, and she wasn't judging whether she had done enough to make that money, done enough to deserve that love, done enough to deserve this new opportunity that came her way. And
That's beautiful.
And it was a pattern. And
sure, for years it took me so much work. My father used to say, well, you got to work hard if you want to eat. And I was like, one day I woke up and I said, well, why is that?
yeah.
And it's so many of those things we have in ourselves that we don't even realize.
Yeah, and we have global conversations and family conversations and tons of past life conversations that you're not even going to remember.
Now you teach a class and you have a book
so
called,
it's just another way to
say it. It's another way
Which
to
book?
No, first we tripped over each other. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm having too good of a time.
Me too.
So when we're working with Heal Your Money Karma, it's another way I use the ayahuasca frequencies bringing in a creation frequency that actually heals patterns that are, let's just say, unaligned and miscreated.
Beautiful. Which we all have on so many levels with so many issues. Now, your other book, Living Inspired, that you teach a class about also,
Yeah.
is it's true. I mean, it's like you said, the big laugh at the beginning of time. I mean, why should we live any way but inspired? Tell us about this class in the book.
Yeah, one of the things that captivates me, Michael, is when I have connection with a question or something doesn't sit right with me, I'm going to pursue it all the way to the end.
Mm.
And so I was grappling with the word inspirational. I come from an art background. I'm always inspired. I know how to create. I know how to manifest those kind of things. So working with the frequencies of creation is really natural. It's probably why I was an artist and why I do what I do.
Sure.
But people started talking about inspiration, and it was like, oh, I went to the store. Oh, I was inspired to do this. It was like there was no energy in it. And I was just, sitting there going, gee, I wonder why nobody gets how powerful inspiration is. And then I was watching television, which I don't do very often, and there was a commercial that came on the TV, and it said, pork, be inspired.
Well, that's unlikely.
And I went, okay, thank you, goddess. I have to write a book and look at really what the truth of inspiration is, because if they're saying pork is going to inspire you, we have a problem.
We have a problem. We have a few problems, but that's one of them.
Yeah, because inspiration, like I write in the book, there's 3 parts, and the book is really luscious because it brings you into temples of inspiration and how to work with your inspiration. But when I was looking at it, what I realized was that people connect with inspiration. They go, oh, wow. And then they walk away. And that's like, you're not following. That's just the tap on the shoulder saying, excuse me.
Right.
You haven't gotten into the conversation yet.
Right.
You don't know what the inspiration is. And so the tap on the shoulder is the awakening. But then you go into it. Then the inspiration reveals itself to you. So you have the revelation of how that moves, what that looks like, what it means to you, what it means to our world. And then when you take action, there's the transformation. There is your frequency changing, your vision changing, your dreams coming more in focus, and how you can participate in the world from that one spark of inspiration that most people don't pay attention to.
Amen. Amen. Now, your book, the Akashic, I always say it wrong. Akashic record? Akashic record. Sorry, it's my issue. And your classic goes with it. What do people get out of this other dimensional place where there's vision keepers?
The Akashic records, and I wrote that book also because I didn't think people understood what it really was.
I don't think they do.
No, and I wasn't writing a book to teach you how to read for other people so you can da-da-da. It was, again, my insatiable curiosity where there's more to this than what everybody's talking about. There's more to this energy than what everybody's talking about. So I decided instead of making up stuff, I would interview them. And the book is really like an interview. I'm asking the Akashic Records questions. What is the nature of it? How do you contain the wisdom of the universe? No, it's not just people's lives, it's everything. How do you contain that? How do you follow the frequency? Because when I looked at it, I realized, okay, these are conscious beings who have to follow the frequency of the birth of a planet through its entire evolution. If it gets hit by an asteroid, they have to record that. If people evolve, if plants evolve, they're recording all of that. It's not like, like you can pull out a book in the records and go, yes, this is how it happened. Thank you very much.
How do I use that in my day-to-day?
Well, one of the things that's interesting, if you're using it for yourself, then there's lessons and opportunities that have been following you, and you also have been chasing. So when we look at our soul path and we look at what interests us, think of it as like a theme that you're actually chasing. It's like, what is this about? You know, like you share so many people's wisdom, Michael. You help them do it, you write about it, you share it with other people. Well, in the Akashic Records, don't you think there's a place that says, Michael decided he liked wisdom so much that it wasn't just about him. He wanted to share other people's wisdom, and look at the path he's taking, and look at the people he's meeting.
Thank you.
And let's open that some more and see if you look at it like that, not like a career path or, you know, this is what I must do and all that. Then all of a sudden you start to see the joy and the connectivity of everything comes along. And that's how the Akashic Records actually collect their information.
Never thought of it that way. That's lovely.
Thank
Now,
you.
let's do a teaser. You're putting the closing chapters on a new book.
I am. I have a fun book that I'm writing. Once again, it's another one of those things that I realized. I work with gemstones. I create and always have created gemstone necklaces with their individual powers and frequencies, and I create them mostly for clients who want to wear something to embody their transition into more of themselves, or hold the frequencies of love or wisdom around them, and do that. And as I did that, I realized that most people do not know how to take care of their jewelry, do not know how to take care of their gemstones. They get damaged, and they do silly things that if they knew about it, they wouldn't. So all of the beautiful books on the properties of gemstones and the frequencies and how to work with them, well, if you wash them in the wrong material, you just ruined your gemstone. If you put it in the sun and it's not something that likes being in the sun, you just faded the color out of a gem that could have cost you a lot of money. And if you're not honoring the way you're cleansing them and working with them and storing them and all that, then you're not able to work with gems the way you want to, but also you could be ruining a whole bunch of different things. And people don't realize it. They don't realize, like, no, don't go in a swimming pool with your jewelry on. Don't. You don't know what could happen. There's chlorine in there. Chlorine is bleach. It hurts things. It kills things.
This sounds like it's going to be a great thing to enhance people's use of special stones. You'll put it on your website when it's available?
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. And I'll let everybody know, because it's a wonderful gift also. It's important for you to have it, because everybody has gemstones. There's hardly anyone that doesn't. And if you want those gemstones to last, which some of us are really lucky, our family actually passed down stuff to us.
Nice.
And we get to have that. And if you want that to last, you want to know how to take care of it.
Okay, Lumari, we're getting near the end. What have we missed?
Oh, what have we missed?
I know volumes.
Yes, really. Well, you know, Michael, what I really love is I really love working with people. So I write books because I want to share that wisdom, and I want to awaken a new way of thinking and being for us all. So the books aren't in and of themselves, which I really think they're great books, and you've said so. So, you know, I'm really happy that they've inspired you.
Yeah.
But working with clients one-on-one, able to move into helping them arrange like their frequencies, their path, their choices, and open up things that block them, and then open them up to their dreams and make powerful decisions for their lives. I have so much fun doing that. I have so much fun doing that.
And I've heard people that have gone to Lumari and just had their lives changed. Thank you so much, Lumari. This is so great. It's Lumari.com. Her books that we've spoken about are available on Amazon.com. You can read. I'm Michael Peter Langevin, the co-publisher of the Echo World magazine. And if you go to echoworld.com, you can read the interviews and the articles that Lumari's done for us. She's just an amazing spiritual teacher and counselor. And I urge you all to go to Lumari.com and see what we're talking about here. That's
well, and I also have a
Lumari, in case I said it wrong.
Lumari.com. And I also, if you go on my website, right in the front, you can see personal sacred space meditation. It's a download. So whatever you're doing in your life, you can hold your own energy, not be influenced by the chaos in the world, and be more centered in who you are. And it's free.
This has been great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Michael. A delight.
We'll be in
Truly.
close touch.
All right.